Hello and welcome to Bridges Get Stitches. This is Natasha. Thanks for swinging by. If you're new here, like I said, my name's Natasha, and I live in Ohio. I'm a cross stitcher. I'm a sewer. I do knitting, crochet, not as much as like stitching and stuff. I like to work with multimedia arts and crafts. I do hand embroidery, a little bit of like paper crafts and stuff, but primarily this is like my cross stitch channel. You'll like see me dabble in a bunch of other things as well, but the primary focus of this is my cross stitching. So if that's why you're here, then great, you should stick around. In fact, you should like the video down below and subscribe. If you're returning, what's up, guys? Welcome. Glad to see you again. So I typically do like weekly vlogs and stuff. This is gonna be kind of like mishmashed because I just did a bunch of like my whip parade and my plans video and such. So we will see what gets done, because normally I start filming on Monday and today is Thursday, January 1st, 2026. So Happy New Year. You saw from me yesterday and the day before. So, hey. So what have I been up to? Monday and Tuesday and most of yesterday, I didn't stitch. Monday I did a whip parade and a reorganize of a bunch of things, and some thinking about plans. And then Tuesday and Wednesday I spent making this. So this is my bullet journal. I've never done one of these before, so it's quite new. Heather, the 20-minute stitcher, I think she says she does one, I believe. And there was somebody else. But anyway, I got into it because like book talk and bookstagram people were doing it, and I was like, well, maybe let's just give it a shot. Why not? So I've got the start here of my 2026. I'm gonna go into my index, which I don't know if I'll actually use as much. People said they didn't tend to use it, but I'm gonna at this point need to add more pages because I'm like at 70 something and this is only 48, so I'm still working on it. My resolutions and goals, just as they come to my head, I'll throw them on there. I started with like my fitness stuff, so my fitness goals, my health trackers, I've got my water steps, cardio and weights, workout plans, just as a general sense, meal plans. Like this is all like health things. So I've got my macros. Let's get to my writing. I want to track my writing for my book. Then I've got my reading log. These are my different like genre trackers. I hope you guys can actually see these. Tracker as far as like physical or audio, my stats, battle of the books, Hall of Fame, which is like 5-star reads, and then the 52 book club challenge, and then we get into stitching. So I've got my Wizard of Oz goals here. That's the 350 stitches a day. Still have to do that today. Then I've got my like full coverage pieces, my focus pieces, full coverage and non-full coverage laid out, and I'll just kind of check mark as I get through the stitch goal. I've got my whip go laid out. The two calls were 2, which is Victorian Mourning Tree, and then 7, which is Forevermore. So I'm going to pull those 2 out. I need to mark those as called. BRRINGO, the one that was called, is closest to a finish. So I need to take a look at my whips and see which one is the closest to a finish, because I don't know off the top of my head. So I've got to do that one for today. That's just 100 stitches. And then these are all like my games. So I've got like the bingos here. So I need to match up my full coverage focus pieces. So Woman in a Field of Flowers, Wizard of Oz, Rainbow Fairy, do as many of these as I can and get stitching on those. I went ahead and did those for every month. It's not as easy to flip through. Full coverage focus is Wizard of Oz, and then I've got my semi-sane stitchers 26 and 26 goals. the seasonal ones as those come out. I've got the series of challenges that I'm going to be trying to do. This is my main fandom stitching spread. So my 26 and 26, I've got my 6 focus pieces are already on there. I'm going to start with those and then I'll add them as I go. I'm planning to use the 26 and 26 for my monthlies because those are the biggest chunk. And I can get more of those done, and then weeklies I can pop off a 200 to 300 stitch weekly in like a couple hours or whatever, so I can get those done, no worries. The SAL, the books, the Roll of a Lifetime yearly challenge, and then these are my monthlies. So these are the monthly prompts. These are the watch ones that you watch every month, and so then I've got just these like, come on, like half pages here that I'll add the following monthlies on. And then this is my spread for the weeklies. So like if it's got a 5-week month, I just added a tab at the bottom, which, fun fact, there are 3 of those this year. Let's see. And then Year of Whips, I'm going to print off the pictures and put those in here. I added Heather, the 20-minute stitchers challenges here. She's going to primarily focus on like one piece. I'm going to like add in a piece and try to stitch on it a little bit just to show some love. Magazine monthly challenges. I've got the acrostic down as well as the theme. I will not be following the theme this year, this month, which is monochrome, because I don't really want to work on a monochromatic piece. But I might try to see if I can throw some in for the acrostic. We'll see. Whippagories, I've got those laid out. Large works, fandom works, flora and fauna, scenic, paper pattern. Do you think Rainbow Fairy counts as a paper pattern? Yeah, because I don't have it on digital and I have the actual booklet. Okay, so those will be good. Those will be easy. And then I've got my comment, collaborate, and stitch in, which if you don't know what that is, go back to my 2026 plans and watch that. But essentially, whenever you comment on the video, make sure you also include in your comment a project that you want me to work on, because I'm going to be spinning for those projects, and that's going to be the focus project, and I stitch on that as many stitches as there are comments times 10 or 100 depending on like the number. And then likes also count too, so like the video, because that's my secondary whip, which I need to pick for this week. And then I gave myself some room to take those notes, and then I have my Stitcher's Dream House set up. I am going to add a floor plan here, and I'm just going to put everybody in a room. I did go ahead and spin for my first friend visit, and I'm going to go and visit with Sarah, Miss Illusion Stitches, and let's say that she is in the sitting room. So we'll put her in the sitting room. So let's say I'm going to go to the sitting room to visit Sarah, and I spun on her projects. She had 5 projects that she picked, and the one that won was Modern Folk Embroidery, and the number of stitches that I spun for that, because I went ahead and put that on another reel as well, which I would show you, but you're on my phone. That was like 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, all the way to 400, and spun for that, and it landed on 150. So I have to do 150 stitches on Modern Folk Embroidery when I get to the sitting room. But I've got to put my floor plan in here so that I can, like, okay, first you go to the entryway, and then you go through the kitchen, wherever you need to go to get to it, and that's how I'll do that. And then in the very back, I've got my notes for my Year in Stitches journal, which is the next thing I'm going to show you, because I spent all of today doing that. I outlined my Stitcher's journal. And so if you've never seen one of these, this is hand embroidery journal. And so each of these pie pieces is a month. So you've got January right there. And you just put a motif in for what, you know, something that represents the day. Hillary from Subpar Stitches, she did this sort of last year with her Year in Stitches cross stitch, and so I'm just doing it with hand embroidery. And so for January 1st, I put a little, is it going to focus? Yeah, a little bit. A box with a check mark for all the planning and such that I've been doing. So what else? I finished an ATC swap and sent that out. Here's a photo of that, just so you can see how cute it is. And I'll probably join in future ones. I've got a place in my binder to keep track of those as well. But so if you're keeping track, I went ahead and I outlined my Stitcher journal. I have to do 350 on Wizard of Oz, 150 on Modern Folk Embroidery, but that's after I get to it. So I need to get my floor plan first. So the first thing I have to do is put a floor plan in. Okay. I have to do 250 on The Woman in a Field of Flowers for the Stitches So Beautiful challenge that's going on this month. I need to pick and assign patterns for the BRRINGO, which includes the one for today, which is the closest to a finish. And then I need to match prompts for the Full Coverage Fanatics and the Fandom prompts. We don't have weeklies yet, so I don't have to do that for Fandom, because I'm using my 26 and 26, which is Wizard of Oz, for the monthlies. So that, I think, is going to be priority for the rest of the night, and we will see where I get. So stay tuned. I'm going to try to do these weekly, so I know I'm only starting on Thursday, but I'm going to try to post on Mondays. So when this goes out on Monday, you'll see everything. So stay tuned for the next clip. Hello. So it's Sunday night, and I did finish a couple more stitches on Wizard of Oz, and by a couple I mean this week I got about 524. So what my plan is to start, I did say Wizard of Oz, right? I hope I said Wizard of Oz, not some random thing. Anyway, I'm stitching in all of these random loose, oh, that one's attached, all of the hanging threads, and because I want to make it smaller so I can put it in a hoop so I can take it to work and I can stitch on it at work. So that's the plan right now, is to start off by stitching in all of these hanging threads there. So little by little, we're gonna get there. I'm behind schedule already, but you know what? My number, 350, is kind of a ballpark for finishing it. So don't know if I'm gonna get there, but it's just it's my aim, not my need. So yeah, we'll get there. And then I also got my first two fabric clubs from Color and Cotton. So I'm in both. I'm in the candy shop one, so this is Sour Patch, and then I'm also in the neutrals, so Palomino. Exciting! And I saw that a couple people, so Thread Gremlins, Megan the Seattle Sister, and Cross Stitch Couture, the three of them, well, technically the Thread Gremlins is 3 in and of itself, so the 5 of them, and I think there might be one more, they're going to be starting the Pansy House from the February 2023, no, June 2023, just cross stitch. So I think I might pull that out and start that on Palomino, because that looks like a good color for it. So yeah, so I've got that one, so might as well. I've not made it any farther on my stitch journal, but I have written down the ones that I'm gonna do for it, as far as that goes. Do I have anything else to show? I don't think so. So since this is the last one, I went through and I looked at all of the votes on my plans video. Thank you. There were 10 comments, including mine. I didn't think to look at that. Okay, I'm gonna look again and I'll put the number in here. The number of comments, not including mine, I'm pretty sure it was 5. Yeah, because I replied to everybody. So there were 5 comments. So I will aim for 500 stitches on I'm just kind of waiting and hoping that the thing is spinning by now. Forevermore! So that was the one that was voted on. And my, so I'll get 500 stitches on that, hopefully by next Monday. And then my secondary whip is my like focus on a finish right now, like my small focus on a finish, which is Victorian Mourning tree. So I got 19 likes. So I'm going to do 190 stitches on Victorian Mourning tree. So those are the two I'm working on, from comment, collaborate, and stitching. I almost said listen. Comment, collaborate, and stitching. So I'm excited. Super fun. I've not done my stitching yet on Sarah's room, so that's on the goal. I need to go through and like write out this is what I'm doing and just start like adding to it and go from there, because I'm gonna get all kinds of flustered and all over the place. So maybe I'll make like a graphic or something, not for this video but for like next video to throw up, just to say like where am I at, where am I going to, like what do I still need to do. So that's the goal. Okay, so we've come to the end. So go ahead and vote on whatever whip you want me to work on next week. If it's easier, I could start picking like 5 whips and show the pictures here, and then you guys can vote on those. Maybe I should do that because that's easier. Then you don't have to like continually keep going back and forth to my whip parade. So let me do 5 patterns here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So put one of those at the end of your comment, whichever one you would like to see me work on next. So, and don't forget to like, and then, you know, send everybody else over here if you want your project to win. So, all right. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.